As the plasma debate continues, there are new questions tonight about how long someone who's recovered from COVID-19 is immune from getting the virus again.
Yeah, a new scientific study has documented the possibility. CBS 12's Chuck Weber introduces us to a local COVID-19 survivor who got a surprise when he went to donate blood.
It still appears people who have had coronavirus do have immunity, at least for a period. Second cases had been reported, and now there's a new study out of Hong Kong documenting a reinfection at 4.5 months. And then there's this man's story.
The chest pain, it was unbearable. I could barely move.
Tom Clark says he first thought he'd injured himself playing football on the beach.
I felt like my ribs were broken. I was extremely fatigued. I never had a fever.
Then one of Tom's football buddies said he'd tested positive for COVID-19.
Sure enough, I tested positive for the rapid testing. Then they grew the culture. 3 days later, I found out that was positive.
Tom says after a week, the symptoms went away. A second week went by, and he tested negative.
I saw where Sinclair Cares was doing the blood drive.
Sinclair Broadcast Group, the parent company of CBS 12 News, teamed up with One Blood to encourage donations. Being O negative, Tom is a universal donor, and he wanted to give plasma since he'd heard it can help patients currently battling COVID.
Those test results came back August 19th, and I was negative for the antibodies.
No antibodies for coronavirus, and less than 3 months after testing positive.
Yeah, I was surprised.
But West Palm Beach infectious disease specialist Dr. David Dodson points to the initial studies of the current coronavirus in China.
5 to 10% actually had no antibody response at all.
Meaning a small percentage of COVID patients did not develop antibodies. Dr. Dodson says T cells are more important in gauging someone's immune response, but they're harder to measure.
People may be immune for 3 months, maybe 6 months or so, but it doesn't appear that it's going to be long-lasting immunity at this time.
So the bottom line is if you've had COVID, your length of immunity is uncertain, and you need to be taking precautions. In West Palm Beach, Chuck Weber, CBS 12 News.